2, 3, 4, hit it.
Welcome to LoveLine with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Would you sleep with sick women?
I may be pregnant, but I am still a man.
Spank the unruly ones.
It's indecent, it's vulgar, it's blasphemous.
I'm gonna ride you till you can't stand up.
Come on, let's go down.
All right, keep your shirt on.
LoveLine's meant for an adult audience. LoveLine may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised. Here's LoveLine with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla.
All right, it is true. Phone number for LoveLine, 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew. He's a board-certified physician. Dixon Medicine. Tonight, our guest is Margaret Cho. Margaret is a long-time stand-up comedian.
Long time, way too long.
For someone who's not too long in the tooth, you've been on the stage
long in the tooth.
for quite some time, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like 12 years.
So you must...
I started when I was 16, so I'm 28
okay.
now.
That is incredibly young
Yes.
to start stand-up.
I just wanted to get into bars.
When she was last on LoveLine, she was like 18.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It was a while ago.
So let me see if I can chronicle your career here for a moment.
Do the timeline.
Did the set your clock back to the autumn of 1987? Now, Margaret started doing stand-up, became hot, and
I guess
Margaret is Chinese,
Korean,
whatever. Listen, when I'm on a roll.
Whatever.
Right.
Yes, very good.
She's the first Lebanese female stand-up. All right. Cho, isn't Cho a Chinese name?
Maybe.
Oh, could be?
I don't know. Could be, possibly. I mean, they're not what, mutually exclusive?
3 letters and ends with an O is always reminds me of a Chinese name.
Sure.
But
in this particular case, you are mistaken.
All right, but it's fair to call you Asian, is it not?
Yeah.
And not a whole lot of, I don't know if you guys watch a lot of Night at the Improv or go to comedy clubs, but not a whole lot of Asian women on the circuit. No. Except for that damn Mitsu Taibuko or whatever her name was.
Otsuke. She's really big in Japan. She goes to Japan and does shows there. And she was...
I hope she stays in Japan.
No, she's great
please.
because she used to be Sam Kinnison's girlfriend. I think that's a very cool thing.
I was Sam Kinnison's girlfriend in the early 80s. Come on. He's had a lot of girlfriends.
I think it's really great, though.
But her thing is she... you two, I'm guessing, were the only sort of prominent Asian female stand-up comedians.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yes, and she did a whole thing where her thing was more of a kabuki thing.
She's from Japan. So it's the difference between Asian and Asian American, which is I guess what makes us different.
Right, but she really did a whole sort of Shogun approach to stand-up. And her best one was, in America, you have Naked Woman and Playboy Centerfold. In Japan, we have Toyota Truck. And, laughter ensued. I don't know if they sweetened it up or not.
I don't know. But I think that,
but Margaret didn't, let me finish with you. Margaret didn't work that angle. She's Asian, and it's a bit of a novelty to see an Asian woman up on stage, but she didn't go out there in the traditional garb of her country or anything. She went and talked about what it was like being Asian, growing up in America, and the differences that ensued. And then a TV series came off of that.
Yes.
American Girl?
All American Girl, yes.
All right. That's pretty close.
Yes, very good.
Now, that was about 4 years ago?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. That was not so good.
But it didn't have a long run, but it was around for a little while.
Well, it was around for like a year.
Right.
Which is kind of a long time for television anyway, I guess.
It is for Arsenio Hall, yes.
Yeah, and it's a very competitive field. And I didn't have a good time doing it.
You didn't?
No.
Really? How come?
Well, because I think for me as an artist, which I really think I've grown to be or whatever, this sounds so stupid because to think of stand-up comedy as art is kind of presumptuous and pretentious.
Me, we have to listen to Adam wax on about that all the time, so we're used to that here.
But I'm artiste, by the way. It can, done right, it can be an incredible art form, or it can be butchered.
Or it can be terrible.
Right.
Or just as art itself, art on canvas is the same difference.
You got dogs playing poker and you got Monet.
Exactly. You're so right. So, but I think that what I do cannot really be something to be used to sell toilet paper and window cleaner and washing up powder or whatever.
It's a classic story. You have some success, I should say, doing your thing, and then they make it into a series, and they tell you, no, we're going to take your sensibilities, we're going to take your point of view, we want to take your stand-up, we want to put it into a sitcom, except for there's a couple of blonde twins who you'll be looking after.
I don't even think it's even as high-minded as that for me. I think it's just I like to say the bad words. I have a potty mouth.
Good.
Not that I will have one now. No, I'm not like the sneaker pimps. Don't worry. But
we have a potty show, so it's all right.
It's
yes,
okay.
And thank you for bringing up the sneaker pimps because the saga continues. We don't know what happened to Liam.
Really? You never found him last night?
We never did. If someone knows what happened to Liam, they can call up and tell us about it. What happened last night is we had
he
Kelly.
Seems to be walking around with a Crown Royal sack.
Yes, and the Crown Royal sack is missing from around my microphone, which Kelly had been eyeballing earlier in the night. Now, what happened last night was the following, and just pardon me for one second, Margaret.
No.
Kelly, Chris, and Liam from the Sneaker Pimp showed up. Great folks. British band. And the Brits are either morose and quiet as hell, or they're just lively, friendly, articulate, and interesting. We happen to get lucky and get the lively, artistic, interesting ones.
Belligerent, interesting.
Well, the booze came out, and Liam had himself a few too many, and got into a spat with Drew. Nothing physical, just a little verbal back and forth, a little jousting. Drew put out his fire quickly with his wicked doctoral tongue, as he's been known to do. He is like a gecko. He'll shoot it right across, snap the guest in the eye, and bring it right back. So, and here's the thing about people that are in bands. They're used to having people sort of nod their heads and agree with whatever it is they say. They get drunk, they sit at a pub with a bunch of their fans, and they say, Hitler was very misunderstood. And everyone goes, he's right, man. Yeah, Liam, go. So Drew shot back. Liam's feelings were a little bit hurt, but everything was still fine. Then at some point when Drew had left the room after a couple of bouts, they had to do liners, which you'll do tonight, Margaret. That's where producer Ann hands you a piece of paper and you say, hello, this is Margaret Cho. I'm so happy to be here, and always listen to Drew and Adam. And mispronounce my last name, please. It makes everyone think we're tight. All right, so at some point he started arguing then, never did the liners with Chris.
Well, because Chris they were like a mom arguing with an adolescent child. Chris, being the mom, was saying he was embarrassed by Liam's behavior.
Right.
And he had to stop.
And there's this great line. You should have been here to enjoy this. It takes a physical move, but he held his hand. Chris held his hand way up, and he said, "Dr. Drew is up here. You are down here." And he put his hand down under the console, which I vehemently disagreed with, but to no avail. So the point is Liam then just struck out on his own, walking the streets of Culver City, trying to get back to their hotel somewhere in West L.A. It's a good 10 miles. I couldn't find my way out of this place.
No.
Especially with a couple glasses of red wine in me. So I hope he made it back to the hotel in one piece.
I actually was looking for him on the way out of here last night.
I was looking too.
And I thought to myself, God, a guy out of town walking around here, that's scary.
Especially when he had a little diatribe about how L.A. is nothing but people shooting each other.
Yeah.
So, and
do we have the little altercation on tape?
We have a few things. We're getting we're giving producer Ann and engineer Mike a little bit of time to fish it out. But there's the initial when you were sort of yelling at them a little bit, which I found interesting.
I thought my conflict was with Kelly.
Well, it was directed at Liam.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Because Liam seemed to be a very appropriate interchange.
Then Engineer Mike had the presence of mind to have the mics potted up during the commercial when they were supposed to be doing their liners, catching the argument between Chris and Liam. The problem is it's going to take some time for Engineer Mike to get out all the F words. Which was every other word because I heard it. So, all right. But back to Margaret. So that will come up later in the show, and those of you who weren't privy to it last night, hopefully will get a taste of it tonight. Face Off is the name of Margaret's next project. It is a feature film.
Yes.
Out in June.
Mm-hmm. Big action movie.
Nick Cage.
And John Travolta.
And really?
Directed by John Woo. I have the biggest head out of anybody. I did looping yesterday, screaming, because they couldn't hear me over the gunshots because I look really stupid and am really stupid around bullets, although I had to have a firearm the entire time.
What is the movie about?
It's about these arch enemies played by John and Nick. They basically, in an effort to capture the bad guy, John Travolta has his face switched with Nicholas' character's face. It's very so they play each other. It's very, very, very interesting. Really cool.
Is it like a futuristic thing?
It's somewhat futuristic. Yes, I think so. I wouldn't say it's very far in the future, but it is.
But we don't have the face swapping technology in place right now. That's what I'm saying.
If we had it,
we wouldn't know.
We would.
I thought this was going to be a film about hockey.
I know you would think, but
all right.
no.
So they switch faces, and one of them goes after the other.
Yes.
And you.
And I just keep shooting. Guns.
Are you someone's partner?
I'm at one of John Travolta's underlings. So I have like the Clarice Starling, Silence of the Lambs style hair.
Margaret was also in a interesting movie about a guy who had AIDS called "It's My Party" with Eric Roberts. Kind of a small film,
yes.
but made its way around.
I think so.
Especially on video, and had a whole sort of life after it was released. And if you want to see a movie that has to do with AIDS, that's I guess a realistic depiction. I haven't seen a ton of movies with AIDS, and I don't have AIDS, but it seemed to be pretty realistic. Margaret has a great role in it, and it's a touching film.
The worst hair possible.
Bad hair, good role.
No, but terrible hair. Like it looked like Ted Danson's hair in Gulliver's Travels. Like it was the worst. Like Winona Judd, gigantic. It was a monstrosity.
I thought you looked pretty hot.
Oh, you can see past the hair.
If it wasn't for the strong AIDS theme, I probably would have masturbated.
And it's interesting you just revealed something about yourself, Adam. It's like a very realistic film. I don't know if it's realistic because I haven't seen a lot of films about that yet.
No,
I haven't experienced it in real life, but I judge my reality based on my experience in film.
Well, I was talking about a film and comparing it to others, smartass. Steve, 24. Oh, if you could have heard me defending you in here, Drew, while you were out taking a leak and the argument broke out, you'd be whistling a different tune. You'll hear me chime in. It's the funniest thing in the world because you hear my distinct monotone voice as they're arguing go, all right, let's just mellow out. Steve?
Yeah, okay. Actually, this is more for Dr. Drew. I was involved with the relationship with this girl, and we didn't believe in premarital sex, so it wound up involving a lot of manual stimulation, and I was a dishwasher at the time, so I had cracked skin on my fingers. So
you're soaking in it. All right, Steve, go ahead. A little Marge humor there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I was wondering if there was any danger for the transmission of, like, say, the AIDS virus through cracked skin in the fingers.
Madge, sorry. Thank you, producer Ann.
Really not. You don't have the AIDS virus.
No.
So you can't transmit it no matter what you do.
Well, I was more concerned from her. I don't think she has it, to the best of my knowledge.
She's a virgin, is she?
No. It's really not transmitted.
Oh, hold on. Is she a virgin or not?
No, she is not.
No.
It was a later revelation to go to the non-belief in premarital sex.
Has she had... I've had that before, by the way. The sexual buck stops here. I've been a floozy my entire career. Now I'm dating Adam, and I'm suturing my vagina shut.
Oh.
It's late night radio, please. Steve.
I'm just really empathetic. I feel it all. Do you have a sore on your finger? Is that what he's talking?
He gets cracked. He gets dishpan hand.
He gets dishpan. I see.
Yeah, exactly. From dishwashing. Cracked.
And she does not find that unpleasant at all.
Well, I'm sure she probably doesn't like.
I don't know if I could tell that. I don't know if I could tell.
How many guys has she been with?
To my knowledge, 4.
4. And is she a junkie?
No.
Look, have you ever heard of anybody contracting AIDS through that?
Through
that means
chafed skin.
Well, no, but
it would be a newspaper article if something like that had happened. It's unheard of.
Being logical, I figure it's just an opening in the skin would allow the fluid to enter and perhaps.
No, that's all right. It doesn't happen like that, Steve.
Okay. Really?
Very, very non-contagious.
There are finger dams, you know. Do you ever see those little the little finger condoms that you can buy at there's sex stores that that sell?
True?
Yeah, they're very small and they're for your fingers. And there was a whole thing where, you know, a lot of people were using latex sheets for oral sex also, and that's part of them. The finger dams,
Why not just use a latex glove if they're gonna?
Yeah, the finger dams are like they're kind of cute because they're like little condoms for your fingers and stuff. And then they're not as a glove seems like very huge to put on.
Does it go on each? And plus, it's like you're going to the gynecologist or something.
Well, some people find that appealing.
Is it? Do these finger dams just go on each individual finger?
Yeah.
So it's not a whole glove.
Yeah, it's kind of like when
stockings.
Stockings
for your fingers.
And you use like the graduation ring as a garter. All right. That wasn't worth the trouble. We do, Engineer Mike, do you have the argument? All right. This, again, is between drunken Liam from the Sneaker Pimps and his cheery mate Chris during a break on LoveLine when the mics were on because they were supposed to be doing identification liners for us, but they couldn't get to it because of the argument. And right before Liam stormed out, here it is.
Well, don't get on me because I know what I'm talking about.
Oh, right. Okay, go ahead and just say.
Right, okay.
It's
Boys.
about something else.
Stop it.
The definitions.
You're going to keep going on?
Yeah, if you're going to rib me, yeah.
Start doing it with the margaritas. Yeah, do it afterwards.
What are you going on?
Look, we couldn't.
I'm not being anything. I'm not trying to be anything. You.
Stop. Come on, you two.
Come on, everyone. Have a good time, please.
Yes, that's what I'm here for.
Absolutely. But stop ribbing me. Definition.
See what you've done.
The whole thing was philosophical. It's what definitions.
Yeah, I know. All about it, but at least I don't fucking go on about it. That's the thing.
All right, listen. Enjoy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to calm this guy down. It's the point. And I'm getting irate trying to calm him down.
Good job, Chris. Yeah, wicked.
All right, I love you.
Who brought the wine? That's all I want to know. Who brought the wine into the room?
Wine.
All right.
Look, just.
I wasn't arguing medically because I know.
But it doesn't matter, you know. We're having a
Medically
laugh.
speaking, I know.
The whole point is I don't care.
We're having a laugh.
He knows more than most normal people do. I know you do, but this guy's a fucking doctor, so just calm it.
Yeah, my brother's doctor. It's fine. But the point was absolutely philosophical. It was about definitions, about what was addiction. Addiction. The idea was what is philosophically addiction. It's not medical. It's philosophical.
Liam, just forget about it. Come on.
I'm not going to be chatted at because.
Do you see what I have to endure on this show while Drew is in the bathroom or on the phone? Yeah, I've never been more uncomfortable in my entire life.
It's an adorable argument, so sing-songy. We're having a laugh. It's so cute. It's just like they're like little tots, you know.
I've never sounded more insincere in my entire life.
All right, come on.
Enjoy.
I'm like a old Jewish Uncle Sal or something. I'm humiliated. I had no idea that I sounded that way.
You know, you have a really distinctive voice. Your voice makes me feel like I am...
1,000 hands are touching you all at once?
Yes, exactly. That and...
Oh, sorry.
I feel like pajama bottoms in watching television late at night.
Really?
I just feel pajama bottoms.
Really?
Yeah.
Because of the soothing tone of my voice?
It's the soothing tonality. It's the warm, rich embers.
Ah.
You make me want to push a button.
I think about nasal septum repairs.
All right. So that was the argument that preceded Liam getting up and hitting the road from the Sneaker Pimps, and we've not seen him since. Hopefully he's together with the band in Tucson or Phoenix, I guess, tonight, and then they're going to San Diego
He
Thursday.
could still be in the Sony lot somewhere arguing about marijuana.
I swear I don't know how he made it back to the hotel, if he ever did make it back to the hotel, because I don't know if he had any money. He was drunk. He was walking around, and this where we work is not an easy place to find your way out of, especially loaded and from Britain. So we hope he did all right. Anyway, Margaret Cho is here tonight, and we're going to squeeze another call. Later on, we will hear the argument that started it all when Drew fired at the guest in that doctoral tone of his. All right, let's see. Jay, 19.
Hi, I had a question about tattoos. I'm considering getting a tattoo, and I've heard about the HIV being pass through the unsterile needle.
Right.
But I heard a report tonight on Dateline or Nightline or something that said the ink, especially like foreign ink, maybe in Asia. No offense to Margaret or anything, but I heard that.
Wait, what?
I heard that ink can it can give your body like lupus or whatever.
Well, I have not read any reports of that per se. However, whenever a foreign body is introduced and left, there's always a concern that some sort of generalized immune reaction or activation can occur. I mean, that's really the basic theory behind the silicone breast implants and why they activate the immune system and cause the immune system then to attack the body. So it makes sense to me.
Right, except for that's more about class action suits and lawyers cashing in on hysteria than it is.
And if it occurs, it occurs very rarely. There's a lot of tattooing going on right now, and I've yet to see any cases of autoimmune disease linked to tattoos.
Do you have any tats, Margaret?
No, I don't. No. I could never, I don't know. No.
Let me qualify it, though. Maybe some literature will be coming in. It's just not something I've come across. And it certainly is a lot of tattoos.
But it seems to me that if there was like an actual outbreak of some sort of disease from that there would be more of a furor over it. I mean,
you'd see a lot of it. I mean,
so many people get tattoos, and,
All right, so Jay, if you want to get a tat, play the odds. Go to a reputable place, and I'm sure you'll be fine. And when we come back, we will talk to Drew.
Jennifer, who is repulsed by her husband and now wants to know how to get a painless divorce that doesn't affect her children in any way. Imagine that.
I don't go in for these backdoor shenanigans.
Sex, drugs, rock and roll.
Shenanigans.
Tips, chains, whips. Basic high school orgy type of thing.
LoveLine, I'll be right back.
Let's enjoy. I really got to get some. I got to work on sincerity. I sit there. I give like a 10-second pause and go, enjoy.
Just start with feeling.
I really have to get some affect, Bruce. Right? Let's enjoy.
That's the beginning of a Adam shuffle.
Adam Carolla, hostage negotiator. Come on now. Enough of the shenanigans. All right, Margaret Cho is here tonight. Margaret is a fabulous stand-up comedian. Dabbled in TV for a while. Did some feature films, and now has a blockbuster coming out in June with Nicolas Cage and John Travolta called Face Off.
Yes. I'm actually, this summer doing some other films. My next film is called Control Freaks, which I'm very upset about because I have to do a nude scene, which I'm okay with that, but I have the worst tan line because I have a farmer's tan. I have a Beechwood Canyon, like total farmer's tan, like total like V-neck.
Like you're gardening a lot?
Tractor tan.
Right.
Which is so awful that I don't know how I'm going to... And I have to go to a tanning salon or something.
Yeah.
But then how do I make the rest of it tan evenly? It's going to all look weird. I'm just going to look like a calico cat.
No, God will take care of that. And I love a tan line, not the farmer's tan line.
Not the farmer's tan, though.
But I love a tan line on a woman.
Well, yeah, a tan line is great, but if it's in the right place. Because it's, you know what it is it looks sexy because it's things you're not supposed to see.
Right, exactly.
But you should see people's shoulders. Or,
right.
I mean, I don't know.
All right, well, start working in the garden in a thong back and some pasties and even things out.
I'd be kicked out.
I could just see her down there planting bulbs in thong back.
Thong back.
Oh, yes.
Thong back.
All right, so
enjoy.
What the hell are we talking about? All right, back to the phones. Drew?
Yeah, let's take some calls tonight. I like that.
Yeah. Last night was just one big argument. It was awesome, though. And I think I handled it wonderfully. Enjoy. Jennifer.
Yes.
25.
Yeah. Basically, I've been married for almost 5 years to my husband. And for the last 4 years, it's kind of been going downhill pretty rapidly.
In what way?
I I've started losing respect for him. He isn't quite as caring as he used to be, and I just am kind of realizing that this is not the person that I should have married, basically.
How long have you guys been together before you were married?
3 weeks.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
All right, so it was a prudent decision.
Was it whirlwind? Was it just romantic? And was it the sex?
I've never really been into sex. I've been in quite a few bad relationships, and this was kind of...
the rescue. This was
the rescue.
All right, hold on. Let's gamble.
Easy. It's
All
a
right.
layup.
It's a layup. Drew, very cocky. He's been kicking my ass on this gambling thing, and with the house costing me all this money, it's really starting to add up. Margaret, you have any money on you? You get $1.
Okay.
All right, Drew. Do you have the multi-hundreds of dollars that I've given you over the last few weeks? All right, bucks
What are
out.
we doing?
We're gambling.
Okay. But that's against the law.
Not.
And we're doing it on the air.
All right, but listen, I thumb my nose at the state of California, who gambling's illegal except for the most inane, bizarre, asinine form of gambling, which is the lottery, which is poor people gambling with the stipend they get from the state. Here's my thing: no lottery tickets sold to people in slippers or who need the money for dental work. That would be my first piece of business when I take over as governor. So they have lottery gambling, which is gambling for vagrant retards, but that's legal. You can gamble on horses. You theoretically could gamble on dogs in this state, I believe, but you can't gamble on chickens. Cockfighting's illegal. You can gamble on dogs. There's poker, pan poker in Chino or something, but you can't play 21. The state wonders why everyone ignores their retarded laws. It's because they pick and choose it in such a random fashion that everyone just goes, screw you. What are you talking about? You can't gamble on football. You can gamble on dogs. You can't play 21. You can't play pan poker. It's ridiculous.
So now we have anarchy then.
That's
anarchy.
Right. Total anarchy. Starting here on LoveLine with the $3 we've ponied up. And I feel lucky tonight.
Now what are we betting on?
I have no idea.
Oh.
What, Drew? What are we betting on?
Jennifer's upbringing. Her relationship with her family.
We're trying to figure out why she had a string of bad relationships, why she married this guy after only 3 weeks in the relationship. What happened to her as a youngin'? What kind of environment did Jennifer grow up in? Alcoholism, abuse, possibly was Ozzie and Harriet type upbringing. Drew, would you like to go first since you're so confident?
Dad was abusive, probably alcoholic, and ultimately left, I'd say.
All right. Verbally, physically
Physically.
Sexually?
No.
No.
I would say I would go for yes because she said that she does not like sex, and I identify because I think I've gotten over that stage of my life because I had that sort of abuse growing up, and it did affect me sexually for a long time, as though now as I felt as an adult I've let go of that and actually enjoy sex more than ever. But I can see how that would hinder somebody, especially if they have not been lucky as I have with good relationships.
Do you think her father did this to her?
I think father or male relative, close male relative, male friends.
I would agree that I think she took refuge with some close male friends and was a good victim because of the way the parents treated her, and they took advantage of it.
Yes.
So we'll give her that. We'll give Margaret that.
All right, so Margaret has sexual abuse.
Yeah.
You have physical abuse. I'm going with one too many episodes of All American Girl in the early 90s.
One too many.
Sent her over the edge. All right, geez, I was going to go for the sexual abuse, damn you. I will now go for...
Well, we could still have sexual abuse. I could just say I will.
More specific.
I call male friend / uncle. You could call
I'll
dad.
go dad.
Okay.
All right. Where are we, Drew? Line 3. Jennifer.
Yes.
You're 25.
Yes.
Come on. Daddy needs a new pair of shoes.
Well, you guys are all right in some aspects and kind of wrong in the others. My father did not abuse me.
That is tragic.
Wait.
What happened?
My mother and father were divorced.
Yeah.
I basically saw him summers and weekends.
For some abuse?
No.
No.
Wait, let me get this straight.
No, he did not abuse.
Wait. He didn't drink?
No.
Did he ever strike you?
No.
Okay.
Well, then what part are we right about?
I was molested by my stepfather. My mother's family is basically alcoholic.
Buy like a poison churro with that $3.
Yeah.
No, Margaret gets it.
And my mother basically decided that her happiness was more important than mine.
Right. Okay.
She certainly achieved her goal.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, she's a woman of conviction.
Yeah, some of my previous relationships were physically or emotionally abusive.
Right. All right. Margaret, what happened with you? I didn't know about this.
Oh, well, I was molested by my uncle for a couple of years, and I'm so incredibly vocal about it that my family can't deal with it. Like my mother, I'll be at a gathering, my mother said, "Could you set the table?" And I go, well, Uncle Bob molested me, he can set a goddamn table. And
I've tried that one too, and they're like, who the hell's Uncle Bob?
They get very upset with me because I'm very frank about it, because I won't say that it didn't happen.
Right.
And that's the worst thing you could do. And I think that a lot of healing for me has come out of just joking about it or just talking about it.
How old were you?
I was, when it started, 5. And at the same time, he and his daughter, he would do me and his daughter, and she was 3.
Oh, my God.
And then...
Who was this guy?
He was my father's sister's husband.
Did you report this?
At the time,
now there's no statute on this.
I know. I mean, I don't know.
You need to report this.
I feel far away from it.
What other kids he would still be doing this kind of crap.
It's possible. I mean,
yes.
I don't understand his daughter either. She's very strange. She's very just completely studious and completely cut off from the world in a very strange way. So I feel like a lot of I feel a lot of anger, but I've also let a lot of it go. And I feel very emancipated from it, which is maybe why I haven't taken action against it, gone back there or done anything.
Here's what I would suggest, because we're running late for break. Let's try to give Jennifer a little gem of information. We'll go to break, and then we'll finish up with Margaret on this topic.
Jennifer.
Yeah.
What is it about your husband that's bothering you? Specifically.
Well, it seems he's gone half the year out of the country. Mm-hmm. And recently he has started having co-workers of his stop by to kind of make sure I'm not doing things that I'm not supposed to.
How do you know, though? Maybe he's concerned. I mean, maybe that's out of, maybe they're checking up on you in a good way.
Well, because I know him so well. He started accusing me of sleeping around, and he started being kind of overly...
All right, so he's a real clingy guy.
He is.
Okay.
He is.
But is he available to you emotionally? Do you have a good relationship when he is around?
In a way.
Okay. How many kids do you have?
I have one from a previous relationship, and then a daughter with him. Mm-hmm. And
on behalf of the kids, why don't you guys try to get some professional help and work this out? Because you're going to go out, Jennifer, and find another messed up relationship.
Yeah.
And have another kid.
I have been in counseling for 9 or 10 years now.
All right.
That's good, but that's just smarting you up enough to know you should get away from him.
Yeah.
What about him, though? I mean, maybe you guys should get in together.
Right. If you are really getting better, he can get better, too. And give this family a chance,
Well, I've given him so many chances to correct, things that I have found wrong or things...
All right, well, then you have my blessing for the divorce, but I will put a curse on you if you get married before the age of 29.
Oh, God.
Do you hear me?
Okay.
You must put all your emphasis on your children and on your career and not on another relationship.
In your recovery from this abuse.
Yeah, well, because I think if it's bad, it's not going to... If it's that bad,
but
I don't see how it could
with
get
somebody
better.
like Jennifer, it could be that good, and she could be sabotaging it.
Yeah.
That's part of the problem. And if it is that bad, she's going to go out and find another bad one. Mm-hmm. And if she doesn't find another bad one, she's going to find a good one that she sabotages.
Yeah.
So she might as well work on the one she has since there's a kid involved and she has a reason to commit herself to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Margaret completely disagrees with that BS rhetoric, but because of her cultural upbringing,
I'm being
not
polite.
Pipe up to the doctor.
But you could feel the vehemence of her disagreement.
Well, I just sometimes if I can't stand it, I don't see how women can stay in relationships. Then I just have to leave.
All right, I am down with you on that.
So fast.
All right,
and sometimes that can be right. It's unfair of us to pass judgment on that relationship because we really don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but she
okay.
sounds
We need to go to break. When we come back, we will unearth a little more of Margaret's past and see how she's doing with that, and take more calls from you after this.
I began to float up and away from my body.
Lady, you better get back here. If you're not here when LoveLine returns, they're gonna be pissed.
Float. Float. Float.
All right, more LoveLine. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. I'm Adam Carolla. That is Dr. Drew, board certified specialist. Tonight, our guest is stand-up comedian, actress, and gal about town, Margaret Cho.
Gadfly.
Yes. And now, all right, so we have a little business to take care of here. Engineer Mike and producer Ann got together and got the argument that led to Liam from the Sneaker Pimps walking out drunk last night. It wasn't a huge argument. It just Drew, here's how the show works. Drew sits there like he is now. Describe his posture for the LoveLine listeners, Margaret, please.
All-knowing.
No.
Relaxed.
No, all napping is, please. He's leaned back in his chair. His mouth couldn't be farther from the microphone, and his mind couldn't be farther from the studio.
This guy is an asshole.
Drew sits there. He puts his feet up on the desk. He leans back, and I usually I have to poke him with a stick to get anything out of him. He's like one of those bloodhounds that naps on the white trash porch.
Yes.
All right. But once in a while, he pops up and says a little pearl of wisdom and then goes back into the reclining position because he gets paid a lot of money to nap. Now, last night, he actually got up and got into a spirited debate with Liam from the Sneaker Pimps. And, why don't we just listen to it? This is what led up to Liam leaving, actually.
Nathan, there will be a time when you must have that conversation. Of course, you want them to know you for who you are.
Does he feel like
but at 19, after his first year away at college, before he's developed a real solid network of friends, I would discourage you until you really are clear in who your friends are, that you've got some good relationships that you can fall back upon for support. If this is probably going to be an ongoing process.
I disagree entirely. I think you're kind of going along with a conservative idea of.
I am not. I am not. I am totally. I am totally in disagreement with society's intolerance of this stuff. However, these are his parents, and this is a 19-year-old who could be hurt by this.
Yeah, but he's
been hurt by it now. He's been hurt by the fact that he's got to keep that side of himself away. He can't talk about his close relationships.
Do you know who the most highest incidence of completed suicide in this country is carried out by?
Lesbians?
Parents of gay people.
Teenage homosexual males.
Certainly. In which case, they should have more confidence.
Exactly.
But he may be a martyr for the cause.
Stupid kind of.
You're being idealistic. If society already were where we all think it should be, then of course.
Hold on.
Not by sacrificing 19-year-olds.
Hey, Engineer Mike, shut everyone's mic off for just 1 second. I'm going to talk to Engineer Mike. All right. That's where I told Engineer Mike to get that damn thing on the... that was right before I told you to get the damn thing on a tape, but we had to spend an hour searching for it this evening. All right. So Drew kind of shot down Liam, and...
I am not.
That was not the first argument. That had been going on for an hour like that.
But,
yes.
But they why were they arguing? They were just saying that he should leave home?
They were just saying that you should be rebellious just to be rebellious to advance the cause of people's rights to be individuals, which is fine.
Yeah.
But that kid would have have gotten hurt potentially, and that's what they're advocating. Our first job here is to do no harm first.
Yeah.
And to hear these people who don't know what they're talking about.
These rock stars who are
advocate something which could harm somebody drives me crazy. I am not. I am totally. I am.
I am not. I am not.
All right, and I dragged out of the guy that he hated his dad and was going to tell him basically to sort of tell him to screw off, which is I don't trust people who want to tell the truth.
Yes.
I was thinking about this today while I was trying to come up with a lie for something, and I thought, I don't trust people who want to tell the truth. Every time we have some 17-year-old kid who calls up the show and says, I must tell my parents I'm gay, it eventually turns out that they hate their parents.
Yeah,
They know that the last thing their parents want to hear out of them is that their son is gay, so they're going to tell them to screw them. But they always hide, and it's such a noble cause, the cause of truth. But if you scrape beneath the surface to those who think everyone needs to know the truth, you usually find something devious. Like when producer Ann told on Jimmy about what was going on at the bachelor party. We went, you got to know the truth. I don't trust people who want to tell the truth. There's a devious thing hiding behind it.
There's an agenda.
Yes, an agenda.
And it's not honesty. It's evil.
It's an agenda. It's still motivated out of something other than just a desire to be truthful.
Okay. All right. And all right. And let's not forget.
By the way, we both sound horrible on tape.
We really do.
Horrible.
No.
I can't talk anymore.
You sounded fine. Please, Sophia.
Hi.
Hey, you're 19.
Yeah, I've been married 1 year, and I wanted to let everybody know that I've had the most incredible experience of my life since I've been married.
All right, kill yourself now, and it won't get any better.
Oh, it does. What I wanted to tell the world is that for some reason, I have sex in the middle of the night with my husband, and it's the strangest thing because we're like not in the mood, and we've had a hard day, and then all of a sudden we both roll over, and it's the most passionate, incredible thing that I've ever experienced. And I wanted to know, has anybody else ever done this?
Yes.
Sure.
Margaret and I did it.
Yeah. During the break. Oh my God. And I had a long day, just like you. And I just rolled over the table. And but no, I think there's something great about in the middle of the night just having a warm body next to you. It's like a kind of a great aphrodisiac. You couldn't even be thinking about sex, the other person's body, their rhythms. I think that the smell of somebody asleep next to you is an incredible aphrodisiac. It doesn't have anything to do with you thinking or
especially
anything.
when I flap the covers.
Yeah.
That's the Dutch oven.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. The penis never sleeps.
It's always the way.
My penis is like a shark. It has to keep swimming forward, otherwise it will die. It's not quite a mako. It's more of a nurse shark. Pretty benign. But the point is the penis never sleeps. That's going to be the title of my first book.
Penis never sleeps.
I may be asleep, and the vagina will nod off, but it will not go into a deep REM. And so,
but it might be its guard might be down.
Yes, and that's what happens. The vagina is woozy.
Oh, well, have you ever been entered while asleep? That is the best. That is better than, I don't know what. That's better than almond roca,
I've
I
always
think.
woken up, and my husband, sometimes he's fast asleep when it's happening, and he'll eventually wake up when it's over. But I've always been wide awake when it starts.
Well, you mean you're actually, you don't wake up until somebody has crossed the vaginal border into Tijuana?
Who is she?
I'm asking you.
Oh, yeah, no, it's happened before where the action of it
Yes, woke you up?
has woken me up. It's a wake-up call. It's an early morning wake-up call. It's good.
I've had women fall asleep after I started, but never the other way around. All right, so Sophia.
Yes.
This is bliss for you.
Oh, yeah.
That's wonderful.
It's the only time it's ever happened is when I've been married, and I've been in many relationships.
All right, yeah.
You're young still, though.
I'm hoping you're on the pill. Unless you're going for the nightstand and putting a sponge in or something while you're asleep.
No, what's going on is I'm not fixed, but not permanently, but it won't happen.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
IUD.
Oh, okay.
You have an IUD in now?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know people use those anymore.
I thought those were like...
Go to like a thrift shop or something?
Wait, do you have kids?
No.
How did you get an IUD put in before having kids?
I have... Well...
You lied.
No. No, what I have had is 3 abortions, and so they said, well, it's close enough.
All right.
So
They usually don't put it in women who've not had children because there is a risk of infertility.
Oh,
That's what I love
3,
about
that's hard.
Drew does not F around.
He doesn't.
I mean, he
knows.
knew that there's no way she got that IUD unless it was under certain circumstances.
Yeah.
All right, so is it working?
Oh, yeah.
All right, and do people still use these? Obviously,
Yeah,
but I mean,
not
you don't hear
in what's
about
called nulliparous women. So we're normally talking to women that, for the most part, have not had kids or are planning to have more in the future, and you wouldn't use it then.
Because it can make you sterile?
Correct.
But not a big chance. What about all those women in the 60s who used IUDs?
It contributed in the 70s, really, is when the IUD was a big deal, and it contributed dramatically to tubal dysfunction, dramatically.
Okay, and the IUD is like it looks like a little wishbone that
It can look like a little coil, or it can look like a 7 or a T.
And you put it up where?
It just whisks the egg off of the surface of.
Well, it does a couple things. They unfold in the uterus, so they keep the uterine cavity open, and some of them have hormones and metals on them that irritate the lining of the uterus, so the egg cannot implant.
How do you get it in there?
Speculum insert.
Okay. Yes, you can't do it yourself.
You couldn't.
They stay in for years.
Okay. What is your birth control of choice, Margaret?
Condoms.
Oh, condoms.
Condoms, non-lubricated. I don't like non-oxaline.
IUD also increase the risk of ascending sexually transmitted diseases like pelvic inflammatory disease.
Well, no duh. All right.
I always look at Norplants as being really attractive, but then I don't know.
Yeah, but you got to get off condoms eventually, don't you? I mean, if you're with a guy steady.
Yeah, but they don't stay around very long.
Well, it's because you're making them use condoms.
You got to get into her past again so we can see what's.
Yeah, all right. We may gamble on Margaret's past. Well, she's got my money. That's why we're not gambling on her past. All right. All that after this.
Why don't you try rapping at this time?
Yo, kick some favorite stuff in LoveLine. I'll be right back in a minute.
I'm sorry, that was really bad.
You're just not street like me.
Man turns animal for the erotic pleasures of women.
It's LoveLine.
All right.
WEBN.
Yeah. Alrighty. LoveLine. Adam Carolla, Dr. Drew, comedian. Margaret Cho is here tonight. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Fax number 310-854-4455. Tom Arnold is coming in next week, right? Yes.
Memorial Day.
Stephen Baldwin will be in here. Tyra Banks and maybe Prodigy. We'll see his little question mark there. And we will be back in 10 seconds.
This is LoveLine on
Radio Station.
WEBN Cincinnati.
Yes, it is LoveLine with the well-rested Dr. Drew and the nasally drone of Adam Carolla and the comic stylings of young Miss Margaret Cho, who has a movie coming out called Face Off. It's a John Woo film. He's a big action director.
Yes.
And has Nicolas Cage and John Travolta.
Yes.
Two guys you may have heard of.
Yes.
And is John playing a bad guy like in Broken Arrow?
Yeah, they both play bad guys. They both play good guys because they play each other with their faces.
Oh,
switched
right,
and stuff.
right.
So they're bad and good. It's everything. It's a great.
Lots of stuff exploding. Lots of shooting.
Lots of shooting. Lots of blood.
Good.
It's good.
It takes place in the foreseeable future.
Foreseeable future, and it's an amazing film. It really is. I mean, if you're a fan of John Woo, if you're a fan of action films in general, and it's so exciting. I mean, it's just so. I think we shot off 144,000 rounds of ammunition over the course of the filming, and it's just really amazing.
And that was just the Teamsters, Drew. That was before they actually started filming. And where did you film this?
In Los Angeles. The Teamsters actually did this little trick on me. They put there was the hugest doggy poop or whatever they put it outside of a place where I would see it, and I walked out, and I started screaming, "Oh my God, it looks like 3 bananas!" And then I started screaming, "It's human because there's tissue!" And I was screaming, "It's human, there's tissue!" And all the Teamsters were laughing, and I was horrified and screaming about it. And then 2 weeks later, they put it outside my trailer, and I did the same thing. I thought it was a completely different and unrelated poop.
Right.
I thought it was a serial pooper. It had happened again, and then I still didn't figure it out. I'm so stupid. And then they finally let me in on the little joke, because both times they were all standing around waiting for me to come out.
Where did they get the poop?
It was actually plastic poop that they embellished on by spraying it with water to make it
yours
moist.
was not plastic, Adam. The one that was deposited in your bathroom, was it?
No, I had somebody take a dump in my bathtub.
Why? Why?
I wake up in the middle of the night in cold sweats, shouting that exact word. Why?
Why?
Why me? Why my tub?
Did they think it was a bidet? Is it?
No, it wasn't a French guy. It was a junkie.
Oh gosh, that's the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yes, my home was under construction, and in the Jewish religion, they put the mezuzah on the door. But if you're of the Catholic faith, a junkie takes a dump in your tub.
Is it different?
It's a christening of sorts. It's just a little different ritual. Am I right, Drew?
And the same junkie is one that stole your tools with them?
Yes, I had many tools stolen.
That is awful. So you discovered it directly after, or after some time had passed, or?
I didn't do carbon dating on the
you
on
didn't
the dump.
cut it to see if there was rings.
No, I didn't.
Count it possible.
I didn't get Bill Nye, the science guy, on the phone. And Bill, I got a turkey thermometer in it. It's 68 degrees.
More like tracking a bear or something. You check out what it's eaten recently.
And then I actually rubbed some of it on me so that he would not pick up my scent.
Or just rub some on and see if you had a reaction 24 hours later to see if you were allergic, possibly.
Right, and just I put my initials on my chest just in case I was going to have a reaction. All right, so from feces to molestation. Let's just finish off our conversation.
Yes.
You're very courageous in talking about this. I'd like to preface this by saying.
Oh, thank you.
When you were, was it 5 years old or
yes,
7? 5 years old. You were molested by a sort of distant uncle or uncle by marriage?
Uncle by marriage, yes.
And he also molested his 3-year-old.
Yes.
At the time.
At the same time.
And
is this the same girl that's all
yes,
freaky now?
she's just very strange now.
Yeah.
And
I'm so distant, from that too. And I think that my parents also have separated their ties to that particular family to a great extent because of it. Yet they will not really be as straightforward as I am, certainly. Nowhere near.
Can you imagine how guilty your parents feel?
Oh, I know.
I mean, that's what they're avoiding.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Because you would have to feel some degree of responsibility, even if it wasn't a rational feeling, that...
you would want to have protected you from this.
Yes, of course.
So how old are you now?
28.
All right, so this is 23 years ago. And when did it come out? I mean, when did you discover it? Or, I mean, I shouldn't say discover it, but when did you make it apparent to your parents that this was going on?
I think I kind of let them know when I was around 12, when I figured out what had happened. Then I kind of let them know, and they were not dismissive, but they did not know how to deal with it emotionally. I mean, I'm very close with my parents, yet at the same time, we have problems obviously talking about certain things, and part of it has to do culturally with the reserved nature of our Korean family dynamics. It's very unemotional, very cold, and so you have to they cross that line sometimes because we're different, but at the same time, it's very hard for them. So.
Now, what is the situation? Are you first generation American?
Yes.
And so your folks came over.
Yes.
At what age?
They came in their mid-20s.
Were they expecting you to have an arranged marriage?
No.
Because we talked to a lot of Korean kids, in which that is a common.
They're very common, and as a lot of my cousins still, do that, and they treasure that, they welcome that because. It kind of takes a lot of sort of, pressure off because also it's not completely, you have to do it. It's a more like setting up and, introductions and whatnot.
Oh, you don't have to carry through and
you
actually
don't always have to. No.
Take the vows.
No. I mean, it just depends on the family, of course, but I've seen that in my family.
And what did your parents think about you getting involved with comedy at such a young age?
Well, I didn't tell them until I was well into a television career, and then I was doing.
They didn't know
They didn't know
what you did for a living.
No. And
how did you keep it from him?
I just didn't really discuss it, because you keep things like that. And then my mother saw me on television.
Really?
And she was like, "Oh, I have a kiss jar for you." So,
is this Mrs. Livingston from Courtship of Eddie's Father?
Yes, the same. But
what did she ask you?
She was like, she couldn't figure out what it was that I was doing. She thought it was like theater or something. She started to understand, and they've never come to see me do stand-up.
Oh. All right, your folks and my folks together. We should put them on a boat and just cast it out to sea somewhere.
I mean, I'm sure your parents are very proud.
They don't like to admit it in front of me. But
the answer to that would be no.
Oh, no. Well, look, they're happy if I'm happy.
Yeah.
And I pretend I'm happy, so everyone's happy. But
in fact, more than pride, I pick up fear in his parents. They're frightened of his success.
Frightened of it. Frightened of your power.
No,
it's that they know him and he's been unleashed on the world.
Did I get up and leave the room, or am I still sitting here?
You may speak. Go ahead.
All right. I just mean, Drew loves to talk about me like I was some professor he had in college or something who passed away some years ago. I'm sitting right across from the guy while he's assailing me with his psychological verbal critiques. Now, you lived at home, went out, and did stand-up.
Yes.
And your folks didn't know you're going out and doing stand-up.
No, they knew that I was going out.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't a change, though. My life started to change really when I was...
When did you leave the house for good?
I left when I was about 18, and I came back a couple of times, of course. Boomerang back into the family.
Did you not tell them what you're doing for fear that they wouldn't accept it?
I just didn't tell them because I think they just wouldn't understand. I mean, they just didn't get it. They didn't really get it.
Right.
So I didn't tell them because I didn't really know what to tell them.
My family's been in this country for 5 generations, and they still... Uncle Ralph wants to know whose show it is. What do you mean? It's Drew's show, isn't it? What does that mean? He does all the talking, right? No. Well, Uncle Gobby says he does all the talking. Okay, listen, just pass the goddamn chicken paprikash. Let's finish it off and get the hell out of here. Oh, showbiz.
But I'm sure that it's so exciting that they see. I mean,
no one has cable in my family.
Oh, yeah.
And when I was on CBS a couple of weeks ago, my grandmother said, "So this is a real station." Okay. All right, so we should put. Here's what we should do. We should take my folks, your folks, put them in a like a Roman arena, give them a couple battle axes, and just see who walks away.
Let them go at it.
Marty, 20.
Yeah, hi. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
I got a question about my girlfriend. I've been going out with her for 4 months, but we actually feel a lot closer than that. We both love each other very much. But we actually, a few problems just keep on coming back and forth. We get in lots of fights. First of all, she's had 6 sex partners before me, and she's only 20. And that kind of bothers me a little bit.
Yeah.
And the second thing is that she really likes to flirt and to be hit on by other guys. She's really sensitive to the fact that I don't like it. In fact, if she's out, she'll ask me if it's okay if she dances or goes out with guy friends, whatever. But
what would happen if you said no?
Well, then she doesn't. But
how would she behave? How would she feel?
That's my question. Like, I don't want to seem like I'm overreacting or too overly jealous.
How does she react?
I'm sorry?
If you say no, how does she react? Or have you never said no?
Yeah, I've said no on some instances. And
how does she react?
She says okay.
And that's it. No resentment, no anger.
Not that I can tell, but I'm not really sure.
You're 22. 20 as well.
We're both 20. I'm sorry.
Right, and you've had less than 6 partners.
I've had none.
Oh, none. All right. Yeah. See, guys can't stand this. This is.
Is that weird? I mean, I by the time that I was 20, I don't even know how many, but that 6 is a very low figure.
Oh yeah. That's a good weekend.
Yeah.
It's just you're out doing the stand-up thing.
Sure.
You know what do you want? Oh, your parents are just. Could you imagine? Imagine the folks hearing about the partners.
I also don't like to talk about the 6 partners with her because I feel like I'm calling her a whore or whatever.
Yeah. But they were all, you have to understand, they were all before she met you. You know? They don't have anything to do with you.
But, Margaret, this is not a rational impulse.
Yeah.
You understand? I mean, it's not really... I've had this impulse before. A lot of guys have this. You have it when you're, like, in your late teens and early 20s as a guy. It's one of these things that goes along. It's almost... Like, when I was, like, in my early 20s, I was getting a lot of fights and stuff like that. You know, get into trouble, make trouble, pain in the ass. And it's a lot of that same energy. It's a... please, Drew. Don't put the puss on halfway into this.
I won't interrupt you.
Please, how about a little validation for a change instead of the puss on?
And
the puss on.
Yes, and
you have a lot of energy when you're in your early 20s as a male. And oftentimes that energy finds sort of devious outlets. And when you're with your woman, it comes out in who were you with before me, what were you doing with them, who's the guy, how big was his penis, so on and so forth. When you're with guys, it comes out in hey, you're an a-hole, I'm drunk, let's get into a fight.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the line, you lose a lot of that momentum, hopefully, and you just sort of settle in and you realize people have pasts, you have a past, you're together now, and that's what's important. And it's and you also stop trying to cut people off on the freeway who flip you the birds.
So some of that is biological. I agree with you, Adam. However, some of it is the fact that younger males particularly tend to persist in over-idealizing their partners.
Right.
There's an attempt to act out something that they are lacking in their relationship with their mother or something. And the over-idealization can never be kept up with.
Right.
And part of the idealization is you defend against it. If a guy comes, you want to attack anybody that threatens it or keeps you from protecting that idealized image.
Right. And when you as life goes on, you become comfortable with the notion that most women are tramps, and you better just accept it.
Well, I'm not worried that she's ever going to cheat on me, really.
We didn't say that.
I'm sorry?
We didn't even bring that up.
Yeah, well...
Okay, so that's where your head's at.
Yeah. Well, maybe you get that from the sexual jealousy, like you don't like her flirting, you don't like guys hitting on her, but at the same time, flirting for a lot of women is a way that women communicate. And I find that flirting, for me, I will flirt with people that I am not attracted to in the least, just because that's how I, as a coquette, would deal with men. So, I mean, it's not necessarily a threat to you, but if it makes you uncomfortable, I think it's wrong to say, please don't do that or whatever, because I think that's just going to make her resentful. And at the same time, do you flirt with her?
With my girlfriend?
Yeah.
Well, no, we're very close. I mean, we're way beyond flirting, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, there's sort of a fun thing if you're with, I don't know. Like I know, because I have never been with anybody for that long, but I think that flirting exists, it should exist well into, your golden years, if you want to keep having fun.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can certainly have a sort of a playful element to your relationship.
Sure.
All right, so, Marty, we've done nothing to answer your question. Here's the deal. This is you. This is your problem. This is in your head. It's not rational. I know the feeling well. There are many, many other young men who share that same feeling. And your job as a human being is to not act on all these impulses that you'd like to act on. You'd like to kill people. You don't. I would like to go up and pull women's tops off that were roller skating down the Venice boardwalk. I rarely do it. I would like to urinate on parking spaces so that people knew that this was my space. I would like to break wind into my cupped hand and fan it toward... Wait a minute. Now, that I do. Actually, I do that
that's
one.
called the buttercup, I hear. That's the buttercup when you do that and you put that up to somebody's face.
Yes.
When you into your hand and then you do that. Like
Poetic, guys. Marty, the deal is you need to be more realistic. You need to accept who she is, her weaknesses, her strengths. You need not to idealize her. You need not to idealize this relationship. You started out this call by saying, we are so in love, but I hate this and this and this and this about her. And who she really is really bothers me. Look at who she is and decide whether or not you're going to accept that and be more realistic about this relationship.
6 by the age of 20 does not a whore make. Sam, 20. Sam?
Hello?
Sam?
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hold on. Let me just put this out to the listeners. please try to be in some state of preparedness when we call on you. Sam?
Hello?
Okay. This is Sam. Is this you?
Yeah, this is me.
Oh, you're diabolical. Here, honey. Wait. I'm going to be on hold for some time. Just hold the phone next to your ear and wait, and then give it to me if the guys pick up. Is that what that was?
Go ahead, Sam.
Okay. I had a question. I was dating a girl a while back, and we had a pretty close relationship, and we broke up and all, and I was just curious if it was, like, immoral to sleep with her friends or her sisters or, feel intimate about them.
What does immoral mean to you?
Just, I was wondering if it was just morally wrong.
What does moral mean to you?
Well, it just,
If you use the word moral again, I'm hanging up on you.
Okay. I mean, is there just anything bad with that? I mean,
do you think you would?
I mean, do other people do that?
Do you think it's wrong to hurt other people?
In a way, but in a way, no.
So you don't mind if your actions harm other people?
Okay, well then you're fine.
Because that's what your actions are going to do.
Okay.
But we need to explore why you don't acknowledge other people's feelings.
Why I don't?
Why can't you be concerned about other people's feelings?
Because really, I've found out that's no way to get in the world. You don't get anywhere like that.
I hate that notion. Yeah. It is such a crock of S, this whole sort of, this generation of, this Reebok generation of it's my world, I'm in your face, everyone owes me something, it's dog eat dog, you got to scratch and claw your way to the top. It's such crap. Let me use as an example my partner here, Dr. Drew. Nice, genteel, interested in nothing but helping others, yet has managed to carve himself out a very successful career with a lovely, his wife's all right, but the kids are great, and he goes to bed each night and sleeps like a baby because he's spent the day out doing good, being courteous, and helping others. There's not an ounce of vindictiveness in him. There's no agenda other than to make a few bucks, and he's made a successful life without stepping on other people. You can do it too, unless you're just an idiot. Are you an idiot, Sam?
Yeah, most of the time I am.
All right. Well, then that is the good. That is the curse of your life, then. So do what you want to others. You'll never escape yourself.
I mean, I'm nice to people. Don't get me wrong. Hell, I'm a Boy Scout. I mean, I was a Boy Scout. So.
Where did you first learn that it's not worthwhile?
Well, my brother's in jail, so I mean, it was just really terrible. One of my friends sent him to jail.
What happened?
For 50 years.
What happened?
He got, well, my friend's older brother was buying some drugs off of my brother, and he owed my brother money, and my friend got scared for his brother's life, I guess, and I don't know why, but so he went and said, all this stuff, and made up all these big stories about how he was trafficking drugs from different countries and all this thing. So.
How do you know he wasn't?
Because he's not a liar, and he told me.
Well, how did the?
By the way, if he was a drug addicts
no, he wouldn't touch the stuff. He just sold it.
All right. Well,
I've yet to meet somebody like that.
How did the court system find him guilty then?
Well, they took this kid's testimony.
And that was enough?
Yeah, that was enough for them.
All right, and he couldn't offer any compelling evidence toward the fact that he wasn't doing all of this?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going with guilty anyway.
Yeah, I mean, also an addict. An addict's lie. Period.
All right, so your brother's up the river.
But yeah, but I mean, that's kind of where I learned, and I mean, I've had a rough life as it is, and I mean...
that's where you learned. What was the rough life about?
Yeah, and...
what was the rough life about?
Oh, it's just I just didn't get along with high school. It's my own fault. I mean,
what was the rough life about? You said you're a Boy Scout.
Oh yeah, what's wrong with being a Boy Scout?
Well, that doesn't suggest you had such a rough time in high school. You found something to do with your time. Where was it rough? What happened?
So far, that's really the only thing I accomplished. Right now, well, when I was younger in school, they told me I was one of the kids that needed special education, and I really don't think I did when I look back on it, but I mean, that just through all of life, I mean, that was just eating at me, you know. I mean, I'm a stupid kid. I'm an idiot, you know.
Weren't you getting
the schools are telling me this.
Weren't you getting any support at home?
Yeah, very little.
What was going on at home?
Oh, nothing. My parents were fighting all the time, and you know, and I had a brother who was selling drugs. And
all right, hold on. Sam.
I had sisters that got knocked up and were out of the house at age 16.
Your parents were hitting you, right?
Mm-mm.
Your parents never struck you?
No, well, they did, but I mean,
okay, all right, Sam. Look, that's where you learn that's where you learn not to respect other people. When your parents don't respect you, it's hard to respect yourself.
There's a conversation with Mr. Drucker from Green Acres. I can't. I'm totally lost here. Your parents were hitting. No. They didn't hit you. Oh, you should. Yes, they did hit me,
but only when I deserved it. They didn't hit me.
All right, hitting is hitting. And
I don't see any problem with that. I mean,
all right,
no one who was hit does.
Good. Don't have kids if you don't see a problem. Please don't have kids.
The reason you're in the circumstance you are is because of all that. That's why you can't appreciate or be empathic towards other people.
All right, let me just wrap things up with Sam for 1 second because we're late for break. Sam, listen, I come from the same background. My dad would have hit me, but he was too lazy. He didn't want to get that involved with my life. I never learned to read. I got horrible grades. I got put in the moron class. When I got out of high school, I started cleaning carpets and got kicked out of the house and lived in a crappy apartment in North Hollywood with 3 guys in a 1-bedroom. My sister ran away from home when she was 13 and was gone ever since, doing God knows what. A lot of us had a tough shake in life. That's fine. But if everybody who had a tough shake in life ended up being a sociopath, this entire planet would go under tomorrow. All right? It's an excuse, but it's not a good one. It's something you have to overcome. Just like Margaret's, what are you, Asian? She's Asian. She's not supposed to be funny. She got molested by some joker uncle. Her parents could give a rat's ass about her career, but look at her. She lives up on a mountain and tells jokes for a living and laughs all the way to the bank. We all have our hurdles to overcome, Sam. Do not make those hurdles an excuse because you'll fall on your face, all right?
Okay.
Your life is a collection of your actions. You understand? If you steal, if you're immoral, if you screw around with your ex-girlfriend's sister, if you hurt other people, then that's your life. That's what your life is.
You are.
If you steal, you're a thief, and that is your life. And that is worse than any prison they could put you in. And with that, I'm going to urinate.
People of Earth, we were going to help you. Yeah, we were. But you don't need our help. No, you don't. You have LoveLine, and you're a bunch of sickos.
This is Mission Control. LoveLine will be right back.
Come on. Have a good time. All right. Words of wisdom. We are here with the funniest Korean woman alive, Margaret Cho. I say that without any hesitation. Find me a funnier Korean woman. I want to meet her.
Find her.
And go find me a funny Korean. Funnier than Margaret Cho. I defy him. All right, so Margaret Cho's here, a longtime stand-up comedian, and not old.
Not so old.
I'm very jealous of that. Got started at the tender age of 16.
Mm-hmm.
Probably took some of the pain of the not only the molestation but the oppressive family unit,
yes.
and turned that around into comedy.
Sure.
It's like Bobcat starting so early.
Yeah.
He started when he was 11 or something, didn't he? Everybody thought he was 43. But
Bobcat actually snuck a microphone into his mother's womb. That's what I heard. She walked around with cord hanging out of her vagina for almost a month and a half before she gave birth to Bobcat. Bobcat, who called me 3 or 4 days ago, will be on the show coming up.
This show?
Yeah, this show.
Yeah.
When you said, what did you think I was talking about?
That's weird. I don't
the
see
river
it. I don't
dance.
see it mentioned. I don't
The
see
river
it on the list anywhere.
What show? What other show do you do, Drew?
When?
In June sometime.
All right.
He's doing the voice of the gay parrot in the new Disney. He's doing a voice in the new Hercules.
Hercules. Oh, no kidding.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, my kids are way into that.
Drew's ears perked up like Dumbo's there. So maybe Bob will get you
bring some stuff.
I love him. Bob is the greatest.
Yeah, he's
so great.
Great guy.
Great. Love him.
And he'll be in here plugging that. So it's already. I mean, this is going to be a huge movie. It's Disney's Hercules, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, well, they've been marketing it for already 6 months. My kids knew all the characters before they finished the damn film.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. So maybe Bob will bring in something, or I'll tell you what he'll do. He's a friend. I'll get him to do the voice of his character on your outgoing phone answering machine. The kids will go insane.
Kids will explode.
Oh, that's so cute.
I know. You know Bobcat, so I don't have to ask you how old he is.
No.
Do you know him well? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's no fun. We had a fun game going here, which was Guess Bobcat's age. I think we can play it tonight. Bob has been on the show a few times, listens to the show quite religiously.
Yes.
And
that's scary.
And almost kills himself when he hears people venture guesses as to how old he is.
Venture guesses.
Yes.
I have seen his driver's license before, too, so I should know.
All right. Well, you know him well enough to be too close, so it's no fun.
Yeah, it's no fun.
All right,
yeah.
but we'll have fun. Carla, 22.
Hi.
How old is Bobcat Goldthwait?
My guess 45.
45. Okay, we'll write that down and get a average age tallied by the end of the night. See, this is what's funny.
Do you add it all together and get a mean age?
Yeah.
Adam can't divide them. Carla, what can we do for you?
Yes. Hi. Want to say hello to everybody. I'm having a problem right now, and I've been dealing with this problem since I was 17. I have severe endometriosis. I was rushed to Johns Hopkins when I was 17, and they found it all over my ovaries and uterus. And over the years, I get an operation about once a year. And they just found out that it's not just all over the uterus and the ovaries and the tubes, but it's moved behind the uterus and up my intestines.
Which is sort of typical.
Okay. I'm only 22, and they're already talking about, and I've had multiple, like second opinions, you know, but it's like fourth opinions, and they're still talking about me getting a hysterectomy and my colon removed. I've been on painkillers like it's unbelievable, and since I have my son, which thank God, you know, against all medical probability, I managed to have.
Well, no, the fertility problems of endometriosis typically come later than your age, so it's reasonable that you could have a child. You could probably have another one.
Well, they, you know.
Is the husband around?
My husband and I are, we're not living together.
Because he was an alcoholic or lost his job or something?
Well, he is an alcoholic.
Okay, see, that's why. See, that evened out. I don't know if you listen to the show, but a good alcoholic who doesn't have a job will outweigh any medical science in terms of knocking somebody up. That's how I knew your husband wasn't around and was an alcoholic, because science can be damned. An alcoholic sperm can knock up someone with no ovaries.
Is it faster, stronger, just reckless?
Somehow guys without jobs get women pregnant at a much higher rate. I've learned this from doing the show. Well, that's true.
Well, actually, he has one now, and it's a really good paying one, and he is paying child support.
Okay.
Is the reason they're thinking about doing a hysterectomy the fact that you're having chronic pain?
Well, what it is that now I've been turning to alternative medicine.
Wait, answer my question. Is the chronic pain the issue?
No.
What's the
it's
issue?
The fact that it's moving up my intestines really bad.
So
it's
what?
Like
So what? So what? So what? If it's not causing you any pain, so what?
Well, it is causing me pain.
Okay, so is it the pain that is the issue?
Well, not right now, because I've been doing alternative medicine, and I've been taking like massage therapy and aromatherapy.
But hey, Carla. Hold on, I was working up some aromatherapy earlier in the evening, like nobody's business. All right, but Carla, just because I enjoy this part of the show so much, isn't the reason that they were talking about giving you the hysterectomy because of the pain problem?
I don't know if it's that.
Why else would they want to do it?
Because it's taking over, and an operation a year is very expensive, and the ovarian cysts keep coming back over and over and over again.
Wait, ovarian cyst. Wait. Ovarian cyst is a different problem. That's not endometriosis.
Well, I also have endometriosis. It's just that whenever they go in, they find a couple cysts.
Okay. How much Vicodin are you taking right now?
I'm not taking anything.
No pain medicine.
No pain medicine.
Do you have any extra Vicodin?
What's that, Carla?
They even had me on Lupron for 9 months, so I went through menopause.
That's not even. That's standard of care. That's routine care for endometriosis.
All right, so how's the aromatherapy work?
Well, it's like you choose different scents to relax you. Like
is that from like Aveda or something? I mean, is that like a does that really help? I mean,
Actually, it does. It does. The massage therapy, it works like on my scar tissue and everything, and it helps me relax. I haven't been on my painkillers at all for the past months that I've
What kind of aromas? Like, I think, for me, I think it'd be like a corn dog.
No.
That's a good smell for you?
Yeah, that would really put me in a good mood.
I would like a hot dog on a stick. Is that a corn dog, too?
Yeah, that dip that.
The cheese on a stick with the lemonade. And the lovely girl serving it.
Oh, and the stewardess outfits pumping away.
The smells mixed together. It's ambrosia.
All right. Hey, Carla.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a couple of questions that don't have to do with your uterine lining.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
I don't mind.
You're 22.
Yeah.
What was your past like?
My past?
Yeah.
Not so good.
What happened?
A lot.
Was there some sexual abuse or something?
No, physical and emotional.
Mm-hmm. But there was no sex involved?
No.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever have a problem? How much do you weigh?
I'm 135.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'3".
You ever have a problem with the eating disorder?
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, it's Dr. Kreskin here tonight. Dr. Drew is right. Dr. Drew is right. No, wait a minute. I'll take credit for this. Yeah, I had a feeling you had an eating disorder.
Yeah, throughout high school, I was like 100 pounds.
Okay. So, I don't know what else. You don't really want to listen to Drew too much, do you?
Well,
why did you want to talk to Drew if you don't want to listen to him?
Well, I want to listen to both of you.
I have no opinions on endometriosis. Other than, can I get it, Drew?
No.
No, I really don't have any opinions on it then. But Drew was trying to talk to you, but you seem to have your own agenda.
Well, what it was that I don't necessarily think that it's strictly the pain, why they keep telling me to go ahead and go through with this, you know? And you know, it's like I get so frustrated with these like second and third and fourth opinions because it's like it's over and over, and I'm just 22 years old.
But you got to understand, you're going to doctors who are trained, and you're saying to them, I have this problem, what should we do about it? And they're saying, in my professional opinion, here's what we should do. It's like if you go to a mechanic and you say, my car doesn't run right, and he goes, you need a new transmission. You can't argue with him. You need a new transmission.
Well, at the same point in time, I mean, even if I get the colon removed and I get the hysterectomy, it's not going to stop.
What do they do if they remove the colon?
What isn't going to stop?
It's not going to stop.
What's not going to stop?
What's already happened to my intestine.
What's not going to stop?
Getting my colon removed.
What is your fantasy that has happened to your intestine? Nothing has happened to your intestines. You have some
covered
with some uterine tissue. Big deal. What is the fantasy that you believe is happening to your intestine?
Really?
I mean, it causes pain.
Yeah, a lot.
That's it. Causes pain. So pain is the issue with this problem typically, and fertility is the issue.
Mm-hmm. That's
the issue, Carla, with you, and this is, you want to describe to her what I've done?
Drew wrote down on his magic board, the one usually designated for him writing red rum over and over again. In this case, that'll sink in on the ride home. He wrote down sexually abused, eating disorder, and hates Jews. I don't know, Drew, where does that come from?
You do not even consider more aggressive treatment until you have an evaluation by a psychiatrist or a psychologist and get some treatment, because you have a long-standing problem here. You were abused as a child. You have an eating disorder. There are some very heavy issues. You clearly have stuff with authority to the point that you're so defensive that we couldn't even have a conversation. Please get the underlying issue taken care of before you go start having people carve on you. You've had a lot of treatment done. The treatments have all been directed at controlling pain, and yet you don't seem to even understand that that's what they're responding to is your complaints of pain.
right.
See a psychiatrist. Very important.
Dr. Drew is right.
Good luck.
Here's LoveLine before deworming. Here's LoveLine after getting fixed. Here's LoveLine chewing out its stitches. Here's LoveLine dragging its butt across the carpet. Bad LoveLine. Bad LoveLine.
LoveLine has been bad, and we'll be right back.
Alrighty. That's my new signature sign on. We're here with Margaret Cho, stand-up comedian and actress tonight, and Dr. Drew's enjoy him while you can, kiddies. I've thumped Drew, and I give him about another 2.5, 3 minutes. You're good for like.
Go now.
You're good for half a call. That was Bobcat. All right, so wait a minute. We got our first guess at Bobcat's age, which was 45. Drew, I'm not taking that stupid call. Were you kidding?
I did only because he's been on hold for 107 minutes.
All right, well, he can stay on for 115 minutes. Robert, 15.
Yeah.
Hey, Robert, how old do you think Bobcat is?
I think he's probably like about 43.
43.
Can I go now?
He don't look that old.
Yeah, he's not that old. He don't look that old, no. But you got to realize, he there's a police academy movies that are like 10, 12 years old now.
Yes, but he's quite young when he did them.
He's hilarious, too.
Funny guy.
Yeah.
All right, 43.
Yeah, well, I got like a question for anybody who wants to answer this, So, like, I got like a fascination with blood.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like got really bad. I even got kicked out of school for it.
What did you do?
Oh, I was on the school bus, on the way back home. And I had my girlfriend cut herself. She's the one who supplied me with it.
With the blood?
Huh?
With the blood?
Yeah, on a doll, And
on a doll?
Yeah, like on a doll.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, blood on a doll. Okay.
Yeah, because I gave her a scalpel to do it with.
Oh.
That's why I got kicked out of school for possession of a scalpel and endangering others and stuff like that.
What do you mean on a doll?
It's just on a doll's head. And,
Putting blood on a doll's head?
Yeah, and then I licked it off, and everybody freaked out and told on me.
I swear, I love this show because it's what is that game show where you get 4 letters and everyone sits there and tries to guess the phrase? A bridge over the River Kwai. Bob, is that it? You gave me blood on a doll. Blood on a doll.
Blood on a doll.
On a doll? Yeah, on a doll. Oh yeah. Oh sure. Yeah. The Corollas have been putting blood on dolls for a quarter century now.
What do you like about it? What is it? The taste of it?
I want to know. I mean, no, it's not. That's what I'm trying to ask. I want to know why I have a fascination with it.
The look of it? Do you?
I don't know. It's just sometimes I feel like I need it, and then she'll supply me with it.
Why don't you use your own blood?
It tastes different.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
Listen, I've tasted your blood and her blood. I can tell you it's exactly the same.
It tastes.
All right, listen, tell her to give you a tampon next time and not cut on it. Please, it's late. No one's listening.
It is the same thing, though.
Hey, I'm 15 and I'm listening.
All right, you have an obsession with her blood. Here's the big question, and I'll ask it before Drew does. What the hell is wrong with her?
Well, I don't know. She's she guess she doesn't feel it because she jabbed it right into her arm.
Has she done that before to herself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. She was abused by Uncle Lou, and you're taking advantage of it.
Not.
Yes.
Taking advantage of it.
Yeah, listen, handing people scalpels, crazy people scalpels, and telling them to cut on themselves is taking advantage of them to some degree.
Yeah, she does it. It's not like I'm the one who put it in her arm.
Yeah, but you put it in her hand.
No, I passed it up to her.
What?
All right. Where does this girl come from, Robert? What is her situation?
What is her situation?
Yeah.
Well, what I've heard, her dad burned down this house and this old lady was in it, and now he's in jail.
Okay. That's good. Well, yeah, maybe you could be her pimp later on in life, too.
I guess.
Yeah, all right. Robert, this girl is very screwed up, even more screwed up than you, and you're essentially making a victim out of her. You're getting her to cut on herself, for Christ's sake.
Right.
Of course. All right, but listen, we'll get back to your blood obsession. Where's this come from, Drew?
I don't know. I've read a little bit about it, but it didn't make sense to me.
Can you get him a cadaver to experiment on?
It's a quality. It has a fetishistic quality to it again.
Yeah, I want to like why though? Like,
well,
are you really goth?
Like, huh?
Are you really like goth? Are you into?
Yeah, I'm like way gothic with the spike collar.
Oh yeah. So you're just kind of feeding into the aesthetic of something that I guess
but I don't understand.
glamorizes that. There's no understanding. It's a fashion.
I don't got like anybody else who does it. I don't follow around it. Because I live in a small town and everybody thinks I'm a freak.
Do you like Marilyn Manson?
Yeah.
So you're like into the mummy rock?
Yeah.
Good. We'll laugh at you like we laugh at the people following Cinderella, Slayer, and the hairbands in about 10 years, you idiots. Attention, all people into the mummy rock. You will be the butt of jokes just like the people that listen to Quiet Riot.
And Great White.
And Great White are being made fun of now,
Exactly.
10 years later.
Mm-hmm.
So be prepared. And don't take any pictures of yourself. All right, so you're into the scene. You're fascinated by the scene.
Yeah.
And the scene has to do with death, and it's a morbidity thing. And blood really stands for morbidness because when you lose blood, you die. All right, so that's what you're into. But here's the big question here, Robert. Seriously now, isn't it a huge pain in your ass that everyone thinks you're a freak and an idiot?
Yeah, it kind of pisses me off.
Yeah, and it makes you want to act like more of a freak and an idiot?
I want to go around and kick their ass.
All right, but you can't because you're kind of scrawny. All right, so listen.
5'7".
How much you weigh? Buck and a quarter? All right, $1.10. All right, you're not kicking anyone's ass. If you got up enough speed, you could ram up their ass. That would be your only offensive maneuver, to wedge yourself in a football player's crack. All right.
I've seen you. You're not that big, so.
Hey, you know what I know? I think
I'm 190 pounds.
I seen you.
I'd snap you like a chopstick.
You said you could braid your ass shut.
I could braid my ass shut.
You said that one time. You said that you were on here with Failure. That's why I'm on the show, because Failure was on, and I called, and you told them that if the four of you were on a raft in a pinch, you could braid your ass shut. And then I for
He's not
weeks,
denying, Margaret. He can do
for weeks, I was like, when would you be in a pinch?
To braid my ass? It could happen.
When would you be in a pinch? And then I thought, is it a French style braid? Or is it like you keep collecting hair?
Right now I'm wearing it in cornrows, but I have been known to do a jerry curl on my ass.
I bet you make short work of a topsy tail then. Sure.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, a braidini.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
During the 60s, I wore a bob. And then, of course, the early 70s had a Dorothy Hamill going, and then there was the whole Farrah years.
Yeah, there was a short and sassy for a while.
It was that Leif Garrett look I had, Keith Cassidy.
Sure.
All right. Listen, Robert, you're into that goth crap. You're into that crappy Marilyn Manson. You're cutting on some poor girl whose dad's in jail. You're drinking blood, and it's no wonder why you've been ostracized from the town. Listen, all you screwed up people that have to wear all your crap on your sleeves. Here's what I'm saying. It's what you call a negative cycle, because you act like an idiot, you dress like an idiot, and you hang out with idiots, and then you get PO'd at people for thinking you're an idiot. Just straighten up and fly right, everybody. This goth crap. All right, well, who cares, Drew? I got a microphone. I can't stand that goth music. Drew, we got... All right, line one. Chad, 23.
Hi, Adam.
How does alcohol affect the male orgasm? No. Oh, how old do you think... How old do you think... Shush. How old do you think Bobcat is?
I'm thinking like 46.
46. All right, so we got a 45, a 43, and a 46, which brings us to about 44 or so and some change. All right, listen, we got it. What happened to the guy that was on hold for 107 minutes?
They got rid of him.
They did?
You said you wouldn't take the call.
No, I said let him stay on hold for 115. I was going to get back.
Maybe he heard you, and maybe he got rid of himself.
All right, whoever's on hold for 110 minutes before they hung up, I apologize. No one should have to wait on hold that long and not at least get a word in edgewise. Chad?
Yeah.
What's your question?
Okay. I know how alcohol is a depressant, and it deters sex drive or whatever, but does it also, like, delay orgasm, or how?
It could, though it generally does not.
All right, and there ye have it. We're going to break, and we shall return.
LoveLine will be right back. LoveLine will be right back after we kill the singer.
Oh, no, go ahead. Sorry.
Bobcat Goldthwait, and you're listening to LoveLine with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. Can I go now?
All right. So let me just do some quick math. We've had 3 guesses ventured. 45, 43, and 46. So you take 43 and 46, that's 44 and a half, and then you take the 45, 44 and 3/4, 44 and 9 months. Was the average guest age of Bobcat Goldthwait, who will be on the show coming up soon to tell you how old he actually is. Margaret Cho, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Do not miss Face Off. It's a movie where John Travolta loses his face.
Yes.
And I'm sure it'll be better in Broken Arrow, which to me was gay porn without the nudity. Did you see Broken Arrow?
Yeah, I liked it. You know.
You like the boxing scene?
I thought it was...
what about that fabulous boxing scene? That beautiful boxing scene with no headgear, no mouthpiece, and guys just yelling at each other while they box in a dark gym with nobody around. That was gay porn, that scene. It really was.
I have to say, I enjoyed the film. There was some great stuff in it.
All right, well, I did the John Woo film, so...
I like that stuff.
Okay, all right. I like that stuff, too. It's just...
But I was molested, so I don't know.
Right.
What do I know?
You're tainted, but hey, that can be the name of your next book. My book will be The Penis Never Sleeps. Margaret's will be I Was Molested.
So what do I know?
All right.
With 3 dots.
All right. Thank you for coming out, Margaret. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Look for her at a comedy club near you or any kind of big corporate event.
Any kind.
That may buy her soul for just the right price. Yes. All right. Until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo. All right. Listen. Enjoy.
This has been LoveLine. The opinions expressed herein are certainly opinions, that's for sure. If you'd like a written transcript of today's program, you probably should have written it down yourself. And if you did, we'd like a copy. LoveLine producer Ann Wilkins.
This broadcast was copyright 1997 Westwood One Entertainment. This music is MXPX on Tooth and Nail Records.
Sit, Obo. Obo, stop dragging your butt across the carpet.
KROQ-FM, Pasadena, Los Angeles.